party, baby. It's party, baby. Oh, Lego. Cha, ha. Oh, na na.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Okay, Greenleaf, y'all. Let me just tell y'all, I don't have no earrings in, no nothing, honey. This is drawless ass face. I've been rolling around looking at TV, Greenleaf and Trump and his bullshit, and honey, all on the bed and all that. So this is what the fuck y'all get right about now, okay? It really is the end of the evening. With that said, let me start this video out by saying today you only got a cup, maybe an hour to an hour and a half. If you want to get your summer fragrances that you like, get it in, head on to the website, click the link below. Also, if you want to join in and be able to get like the free shooting star kit or whatever, you can still join today. And if you sell the 500 within the first 15 days, you will still get the $300 and something odd dollars worth of free stuff. Or it has already came down the pipe, y'all, for those who's like, well, girl, that $100 is a little steep, baby, and you still want to join. Well, guess what? Starting September the 1st, you can join for $49 yet again. So if you do want to join, click that link, hit join, and come on and get on the team. If not, be sure to go over and get your summer shit, because all that shit will be gone within the next few hours or so. And all the new shit will be in, okay? Now, let's go on to our shit. Hopefully I didn't take that long telling y'all that and eating up y'all time. You know. So anywho, y'all, Greenleaf. Now, y'all, watching Greenleaf tonight had me like, what? Wait. And I'm still railing from last week, because y'all, real talk, it was okay last week, but I just felt like we got so much. The first few weeks, it was like, yes, boom, boom, boom. It was just shit. And then when they tried to pile everything in and all of a sudden shove it all in at the end, it was kind of, you know, threw me off. We know last week we found out that old dude finally went on and told his wife and mother-to-be that he might be gay. No, baby, you are. You know, you are. And I think that that was a good issue to deal with, because I think it sheds light on the situation. I think people think that it is cut and dry when it comes to things like sexuality and that type of thing. That is cut and dry, and it's not. Just like anything else in your life, nothing is fucking cut and dry. I mean, you know what I mean? Nothing is cut and motherfucking dry. Totally. You know. And I think what it showed was he really does care for her. And he's done what a lot of men have done. Went on, got married, had kids, but still are women who, you know, have done this too. It's not just men to do this and live on the low. We're not going to make men own that, because, you know what I mean? It's a lot of women that live on the low, and to be quite frank, it's easier for they motherfucking asses to be on the low too. I'm just saying, you know. But he's crying and weeping and this, that, and the third. Now, coming into this one, he comes up with her food, because she's home, she's on bed rest, all of that. Comes up with her food, and he's sitting at the door listening, wondering what they saying or whatever. And in some ways, she's being gracious, because she's not mentioning it, she's not saying anything to anybody, you know, but he's still sitting back wondering what she's saying to everybody else, how, you know, she feels or whatever. He's, you know, brought her the food, this, that, and the third, and, you know, and he's kind of trying to, at one point it seems like he was trying to say he wanted to try to work it out or whatever. He wants her to read this and we can work through this or something in the beginning. But then in the end, when it was all said and done, when they was together, you know, after she read what she needed to read, what he asked her to, it was like, okay, I need time. You know, when she hugged him, he cried and all of that. And it was just, I found myself thinking, okay, which way is this character going to go as far as her husband? Like, when we come into this, into the show, it begins with, you know, the daughter who killed herself. You know what I mean? Because of dirt or whatever. you know. And I'm like, which way is this shit gonna go? How is this shit gonna pan out? One, I'm happy it was talked about because the motherfucking church can stop trying to put gay men and the queens or whatever or what have you in the motherfucking choir. But as soon as they get through doing this or closing their mouths after singing or choreographing shit, they want them to be here. Like, we look, it's unspoken or whatever. How dare you? And that's what, to me, this show is based off of. To me, it's showing all the dirt that goes on in the church. And I really have to say that goes on in the black church. Not to say it don't go on in the white church, but I'm sitting here talking to you, looking into this camera as a black woman. And that clearly is my community. I never tried to evade it nor leave it or whatever. It is my community and I'm very proud to be in it. And I think this show is really showing a lot of the things that go on. You know what I'm saying? What goes on here stays in here. You better not talk about it. Y'all be ashamed myself the way my edges are trying to ride up out of my bun. I should be ashamed. But I think, and I know y'all like Much Love talk about the show. Y'all know me. I just got to roll with how it comes, how I feel or whatever. And how the fuck it comes out is how it comes out. So I think it's a good thing. But you know, just going on into just this episode or whatever, what kills me is that always to the motherfucking end, more times than not, it is the women, because we know that in our community, it is more black women in the church, honey, either in there praying for their husbands and their children, are praying to get a husband, are hoping to get the reverend as the husband or the deacon or whatever, let's be clear. But what troubles me is this. Lady May, her motherfucking ass, that bitch knew. Just like Oprah said, y'all have been waiting on that scene to come. I was a little disappointed because I wanted Oprah to go ham on her ass after she said childless whore. Bitch, how dare you? And then, bitch, come to find out that your motherfucking ass, you and your husband, had something to do with whatever church y'all used to have burning down. So y'all use that. Was y'all getting insurance money? And your daddy's somewhere dying or whatever. And I'm not saying that he's okay, but you already know. It just seems to be, without saying that, I believe the dad did some shit. He was a molester. I believe that. And I believe either the brother did something to Oprah or the daddy did, or both. You know what I mean? And Miss Thing, I don't know who done got her together, but that bitch has a real disdain for him. And what got me was, okay, when old girl went and was in the little, you know, in the nursing home, and why the fuck did it take so long for y'all to come out and say what the fuck needed to be said? Even when Max in jail or whatever, the pastor comes, the reverend comes or whatever, and he's like, you know, the reverend's like, why you have me to come here or whatever, like he's not gonna be there for him. Max like, you motherfucker, I got your ass, you know, as he's leaving and on the phone and shit. And then come to find out, some chicks in there talking, and she's like, well, I guess it's him. It's time to go and talk to the motherfucking DEA. Oh, still waters run motherfucking deep. They always have and they always will. So, and y'all, this is just in no, like I said, this is in no order. This is just me wanting to talk about what's going on. Let me also speak to the fact that, Oprah, you went out of your way to make sure that you were very motherfucking detailed in this show. And I don't know if anybody else noticed the significance of the beginning of the show, the intro, and how it is with the slaves and the white pastors and this and that and other, and how slavery and all of that runs hand in hand, the thread that she's trying to run with that shit. I see you, Oprah, honey, and I get it, and you damn motherfucking right. You damn motherfucking right. But I'm going to say this. To me, it seemed at one point doing this show, and I guess this is about me just giving y'all my synopsis, I don't know. On one hand, you see the strength, you see what's deemed to be strength in Lady May and this, that, and the third, and how she was able to maneuver and pull a Jezebel on the husband and the men in her life. Now, some of y'all gonna know what the fuck I'm saying, and some of y'all not. Now, some folks might have been fooled and thought, oh, well, she's just, silently handling things and whispering, that whole theory of, and it is true, honey, a mini war has been fought in the motherfucking bedroom the day before. Trust it. Women have always had their print or whatever in it. See, a good woman knows how to counsel her man and talk to him and him still be the motherfucking head. But with Lady May, she was a contradiction of what she was trying to give when she was in there talking to all them women in the motherfucking ugly ass hats and shit. All of them looking to her, all of them wishing that they could be the first lady. Now, I might be the only bitch on earth that do not want to be the first lady. Why? Because I know now if it was my husband's calling or whatever, I would just have to pray about it, and they would just have to pray for me on the daily. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I'm willing to submit to him, to the Father, and to him. But baby, I am not and will not submit to some of the motherfucking church hens that's in the motherfucking church. If you about the right thing, then bitch, we can walk together. But as far as me surrendering, no ma'am. It seemed to me like when she went and she told him, Mac, she wants to preach in the church. Was that bitch's plan the whole time? I won't say the whole time, but that was just a hot ass motherfucking mess. And then, girl, while you so motherfucking busy, while she's busy doing what she's doing and pulling her Jezebel off, little do she know, Jezebel Jr.'s in there fucking and sucking her son to Sam's Hill. Girl, you scared me to death. Fucking and sucking her son to Sam's Hill. Get me a cigarette out of there. Because she's in that motherfucker. Because the son, he didn't want... And Skank, your motherfucking ass, Reverend Skank, you a low down bitch. And yes, you did get that property because somebody hated him more than they hated your ass. And you got it for a little nothing. So you can build and got this $40 million to put in. Are you fucking kidding me? And y'all, I don't know. At first I was totally disliking the son, but I'm sensing a little something else from him. And I do know that his motherfucking ass is blinded. And while you was fucking Becky with the good hair, unbeknownst to you, which I would say it's okay, because bitch, you was doing that the whole time and blatantly throwing it in her face. She's around there peeping and tweaking and shit with the motherfucking man that's working at her job. Bitch, really? And then you was like, he's going to be around her a little bit more. And the guy said, y'all, this is on the last one. We just all over. He said, yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, really? Okay. Now, part of me was like, kudos, bitch. But then the other part, considering what she's trying to say she is, y'all got to get that damn furniture in here, because I'm not, everywhere else in this house is just furnished up together. But this motherfucking room, honey, I am waiting to get everything. I can't take this motherfucking, what the fuck? Now the damn shit just sound echoey. What the fuck ever, let's move forward. It do, y'all. This motherfucker, y'all should have been to got on my ass and be like, much love, get the damn shit and put it in there, damn it. My ass. Anyway, let's go on. Y'all know I be all over the place. So, this bitch, when he comes back and tells her what the fuck's going on, this bitch gonna say, do you mind opening that door? Renee? She calls my door, y'all. Okay. Anyway, this bitch gonna say, well, have you talked about it to him about the education? Is there gonna be any school or whatever? This bitch then kissed and hugged and all of that. This bitch is trying to get in there so she can have her some shit going. And then, did y'all check Jezebel's face when he walked away? Now, I'm not saying that she is wrong for being hurt, but she damn sure ain't being a Proverbs 31 wife. She instantly changed her motherfucking look. Just went from, yes, dear baby, and kissing and all of that to... And I told y'all, that bitch wanted to be Lady May. And did y'all check the relationship between her and Lady Mae? It wasn't no true like and all of that. It was you do what the fuck I say do, bitch, and I see your inhibitions and all of that shit. I'm just saying, did anybody else notice that? Because maybe it's just me reading into the shit. Because y'all know I will carry on and it'll be a whole motherfucking scenario behind it. Anywho, let's go on. So, you got the daughter running around her. She's talking about she's leaving in the midst of this. Her daughter's leaving because the husband, the ex-husband or whatever, her daddy's coming to get her, which he was a rotten motherfucker. Leave that baby where she was at. And y'all, I know I couldn't have been the only one when she was riding off in that motherfucking car thinking, when she was listening to her aunt who was dead, thinking, oh Lord, please don't let this child do the same thing. Like, my head was just motherfucking spinning. With that said, the daddy then came out and said what he got. He's got Parkinson's. I figured they was going that way with it. So that kind of solidified what she wanted to do. Now, the real shade and the real kiki was when her mama was in there with all them hat bitches and she's just talking about what a woman do and God put the baby in a woman so she could do it, not a man, this, that, and the third. Okay, Jezebel, I see you. Like I said, some of y'all gonna know what I mean, and some of y'all ain't. If you don't, look that shit up. Google Jezebel. So she decides she gonna stay, but when she goes in on Lady Mae, she's in there in the shit, and you know, Lady Mae hates her. Now, y'all, at one point, I thought when she went to go see Oprah, the daughter, for some reason, the exchange between them was like, is she really Oprah's daughter? Like, for real, y'all, at one point I was thinking that, then it was like, okay. And I'm still not fucking convinced. Because her mother hates the shit out of her. Or it could just be she hates the fact that now everybody knows that that bitch knows. Like Oprah said to her, you knew. Whatever the fuck you say, you knew. And come back here when you want to tell the motherfucking truth. But you knew. Pointing at her, honey, it'd have been a show enough sister throwdown. Because I'd have been like, bitch, I know you got to know me. Bitch. Anywho. Going back, when she decided that she wanted to, she already said she wanted to preach, she's setting the women up. As she's saying it, the people get up and start clapping for her daughter. And that bitch ate crow. That bitch could have choked on her own motherfucking tongue when that shit happened. Whether she like it or not, honey, they want Grace to be there. And even when Grace got up there to preach, she did it in the way that she wanted to do it, to talk about the victims and all of that. Don't ever hold that back or whatever. You know, listen to what they have to say, this, that, and the third. And basically was shading Mama, even though she gave Mama a little, you know, some props in the way she tore the door down, this, that, and other. But it don't take a whole lot when you get a bunch of motherfucking black women all in one room, all in all of these ugly ass hats, looking towards one woman, the first lady of the church, hoping and wishing they could be her, not being happy with whom the fuck they are, and never taking a moment to look and say, that bitch is just a woman just like me. Because just because her husband is called to preach, honey, don't mean she was. So you are just like me, a motherfucking wife. Y'all, I don't have like this tremendous first lady respect for the first ladies of the church. I'm sorry. I wouldn't disrespect them, but I would never feel like your motherfucking shit don't stink and bitch, you walk that much higher than me, or you this and that and other. No, bitch. It ain't a scripture in the Bible that will make me ever know that you meant to be, because I'm still questioning some of the labels and shit y'all got. Anywho, y'all, I knew that this show, in the beginning when I talked about it, I kind of went there on the church or whatever, and I never want to come off like I'm not for the church. I said it 1,000 times. I'm for the members of the body of Christ, the true church, Christ being the head and Christians being the members of the body. You know, I'm all for that. I'm not for the pulpit pimp and all of that shit and the motherfucking worshiping of the first lady and all of this bullshit. Because half of them motherfuckers is sitting in there condemning motherfuckers outside the door. But bitch, you just was outside that door doing that same motherfucking shit like I said. Bitch, you was sitting there prim and motherfucking proper and turn your motherfucking head on a bitch who had to go out and suck a dick to feed herself and her kids, bitch. But you will suck a dick for nothing and sit in church and praise like it's nothing. Girl, bad. Never in life. Y'all, the moral of this motherfucking shit, and at the end of the motherfucking day, they coming to get her and the husband. Mac then got out. And as it closed, they going into the house, and the daddy's up there looking through the window. And I believe that, of course, the daddy knew what he had done and what had happened, this, that, and the third. And his ass is good and sneaky too, because he told his son, while you over there, stay there, do this, find out what's going on. And his son was like, did you have his plan? He said, no, it wasn't my plan. As if it was God's plan. Okay. But when he was looking out that window and he seen them, he shut that window. When she looked up, like, he knew they was coming. You know what I mean? Mac didn't got out, baby. It was coming. Now, here's my question to y'all. Because I got this feeling they ain't coming for him. They coming for Lady Mae. That's what I believe. And let me also say this. What, the dad, he's dying. I don't know. I want the rest of the tea on his motherfucking ass. Because him sitting there, he was too eager to tell that shit to Grace. And he said he's not giving me that money because he cared. It's, hush money or whatever. But he was too eager to tell her that. He's rotten too. And I believe his ass was doing some raping and pillaging and all of that shit too. That's where the fuck Mac got it from. If not raping him too. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying we're going to find out on the next season. But I will say overall, this was an absolutely phenomenal show. Oprah, I say kudos to you, and I don't do a lot of that over here. I say kudos to you for what you have achieved. And, just your growth and everything that you've done and this, that, and the third, But y'all don't hear me talk a lot about Mother O or whatever, because I got my own mama that I believe is truly the queen or whatever that has, taught me or whatever. So I never look to for anything. And I thank God for that, if y'all grasp what I'm saying. But I would say, Oprah, this was a phenomenal show. I think this Queen Sugar, y'all let me know below if y'all want me to talk about Queen Sugar. And we can, because I want to talk about something new. I know some of our, new show, oldies but goodies are coming back, and we're going to talk about those. But I get where I'm kind of like, ugh. I got to watch something different every now and again. And I think it'll be good for us to talk about, as well as we're going to always talk about what's going on in the world. But I think it would be good for us to talk about some shit that is scripted. Now, this was scripted, but it sure enough could have been reality. You know what I mean? And, talk about some other things. I'm just getting irritated with reality TV. I need to go ahead and talk about Love and Hip Hop LA. And I really don't want to, because it's the same old shit. Yes, I seen the bitch. She took the money and shit and did all that shit. But a lot of times, I don't want to talk about that bullshit. But I don't necessarily want to let you all down. And that's the realness of it. But I do want to talk about other things. So when I ask y'all, what else you want me to talk about, tell me. When I do come back, when I come in and I talk about real, what's going on in the world or whatever, y'all will be totally enthralled, just the same way with the reality shows, And I want to talk more about that. My channel has never been geared towards just one thing. However, when I started it, it was about me wanting to hear somebody else tell me that they understood what I was going through, just one person. After that, I realized that the people that watch me are my loves, were the kinds that was up to talk about any and everything within reason. You know what I mean? So I just, I really do want to talk about some other things. I'm not saying I'm leaving that to the wayside, but for me to be me, which I'm going to do that regardless, I need to talk about other things because reality TV is wearing me the fuck out. Some of it, not all of it, honey. I'm going to watch the tops and I'm going to talk about them tomorrow. But it's wearing me out a little bit. A lot of the shows. Although when Love and Hip Hop Houston come, baby. Oh, yeah, I want to see that. But I want to talk about some other things. I wanted to talk to you all the other day, and I didn't. I was kind of like, well, I don't know how it will come across. And I'm usually never in that mindset where I'm like, okay, Nina, don't say it because you don't know how they're going to take it. And don't take this the wrong way. But when I'm determined I'm going to say something, I really don't give a fuck what y'all have to say about it. And I say that with as much respect as I can give. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when I'm determined I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to do that whether a motherfucker like it or not. You know what I mean? You may not, but the bitch behind you might need to hear it. You understand what I'm saying? But I wanted to talk about, and y'all let me know because I am going to talk about it, but just to see if y'all on board, because I think I have seen, I talked about the whole shit with women and, you don't have to dull yourself down, this and that and other, in order to build him up or whatever. Let a bitch do what they want to do, but please know that it's nothing you have to do. Y'all can be great together. Simple as that. But you hear a lot about, and the stipulation is put on women as it pertains to sex and this and that and other. Keep your motherfucking legs closed. Don't do this. Don't do that. Save it, wait, this, that, and the third. With men, they can be handed that dick out every motherfucking where and still be okay. Regardless. You know what I mean? And I've heard people say, why aren't parents raising their sons and telling them, you should get married, you should this, that, and the third, and this is how you should be. But on the flip side, my question is, for those who have daughters, are you, along with raising them to know that they need to work hard or whatever, are you also instilling in them and letting them know for that portion, especially in our community, that have made up their mind that really what they want to be is at home with their children, whether it be homeschool or whatever, be the at-home mom, wife, or whatever, are you also schooling her on that as well? You know what I mean? Like, I was in, and this has nothing to do with this, and I'm just talking about it. I was in this group. I'm in a lot of little forums and group, and I love to hear other people's opinions and read and see, and a lot of times, I don't reply back because I'm more verbal than anything, but if I do, it's some long drawn out shit. But that was the discussion. Have mothers went from, do they still teach their daughters to cook this, that, and the third? Are they just teaching them to cook for themselves? But are they also teaching them that one day you'll have a husband and a family and children, this, that, and the third? Are they giving them that as well? Are they just assuming that they know this thing? Are they also sharing with them, the importance of, keeping your home a certain way for yourself, for your children, your husband, whatever? Are they still teaching that? Or in this day and age, are they just telling them, girl, go to school, do this, and I think going to school too, because there's a lot of stay-at-home moms that have degrees, baby. Just later on in life, you know what I mean? That's what stands supreme with them, is that they want to be home with their children, and I commend them on that. But are we leaving that out? And with that being said, since we in this new age where everybody is so open, is there a point where, at what age are you talking to your teenage daughter or whatever, whether she be in college and you're talking about it, which I would say was too late, or at least in high school, talking to her about conducting herself if she plans on being a wife, or even having that conversation with her? I sometimes wonder and want to ask this question: do we just assume that our daughters want to be wives and our husbands want to be husbands, or whatever we assume that we want them to be? You know what I mean? Like, I've said this before to my children, and y'all know I say Bougie's my grandbaby. And I've said this, but I'm gonna be open again, and it is what it is. But I have said this myself. I don't know if I'll ever have grandchildren. And I support my children in everything that they do. I want them to live their life to the fullest because it is theirs. I help them to get here by the grace of God. But everything that they are now and everything they do the moment after they become a certain age is all on them and their choice to make. But I have many times looked and lived vicariously through others that have, grandbabies, this, that, and the third. And I'll be like, man, I was so hoping, that I would be able to be, the me. I don't mind being I'd be granny, and that type of thing. And, and maybe at some point, one of them will adopt or whatever they're going to do, turkey based. I don't know how it's going to go. And who knows? Maybe I'll be blessed with it. But that's my hope. And that may not be their hope. You know what I mean? Regardless to what I may think it should be or what I may hope for, it's still what I hope for. But that is still their lives or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can't be where I'm like, live your life and live your truth. And then on the other hand, say, but you know what? This is the one thing you gonna do what I said. You know what I mean? I don't know, y'all. Y'all know much love gets on her feelings sometimes, but I did want to talk about that. Just like I want to talk some more about dating in this day and age, because a lot of people left some wonderful comments that I think we need to discuss more. So now, when I ask y'all right now what you want to talk about on this channel, leave that shit below and let me know. Know that I am going to talk some more about are you raising your daughters this way, your sons this, that, and the third. Just wanting to have the discussion. I don't think there's a right or wrong in this discussion because, again, your children, those are mine. You know what I mean? This is just a discussion. Nor am I opening the door for people to shade others about what they may say or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we really can have this open dialogue. And y'all my loves. With that said, this is the Much Love channel, baby, and that's what the fuck it need to be about. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let one love bash the other. I believe we can have the conversation. At one point, I'd like to kind of collab with some man or something. I'd love to get my husband on here to discuss it, and be on camera. But I really want to hear the man's point of view. I do want to hear that. So y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm not trying to babble on or whatever, but that's just what was on my mind and what I felt I needed to talk to you all about, and share it with y'all. We don't hold no motherfucking punches over here. We giggle, we laugh. Y'all cried with me, and y'all did all of that. So I'm saying I kind of, want to talk about some other things. I'm not pushing it all the way to the wayside. And whether you understand or not, this is definitely, you know what I'm saying, something I'm going to do. But this is our channel together. And I want to be able to talk about what y'all would like to talk about too, as well as, you know what I'm saying, we kiki and kiha, whatever. I do want to get back to talking about what's going on in the entertainment world, child. I done seen everything. What baby, something was wrong with that bra. She was trying to get him. I'm on Chris's side this time. I'm gonna just say that and fuck the rest, But tell me, y'all, answer that shit below. What y'all want to talk about? Are y'all open to that? Having that discussion. Are you open to that? I hope that some of the people or anybody, if you make videos or whatever, if you choose to talk about, a topic that I'm talking about, I will send me the damn video. I want to hear, earnestly, I do want to hear other people's opinions and how they feel, and what they want to talk about. I watch countless channels and you know what I'm saying? And I find myself amazed. Really amazed when I go to young sisters' channels and baby, they will be on fire, baby, and talking that good shit. You know what I mean? Talking about real life and really putting that out there and doing shit that I've always kept it 100 any motherfucker way. Motherfucker take me or leave me, but there's a point in your life when you get even more less inhibited, baby. You know, and seeing them do it at 20, baby, I just be like, come on, you better do it. You know. So anywho, y'all, I'm just babbling on now. Y'all leave that shit below. Leave y'all thoughts below. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. With that said, I hope that y'all will support me on my SCENTSY. We going into this holiday. Well, for us, it's getting ready for the holiday season. And go to the website, y'all, and just look at what we have. We have a lot of vintage. And when I say vintage warmers, I do mean that. So go and check it out. If you haven't, get over there and get your last and final summer scents. It's a lot of warmers that's going away and a lot of scents that's gone that will be going. So I'm out of here, y'all. The link will be below. I'm out. Leave the damn comments. What the hell you want to talk about? Are y'all with it? You know, let me know. I'm out.